Hello, this is Roxana. This episode ran a little long. We talked about the fairy tale, the Jean Cocteau adaptation of that fairy tale, the original Disney animated film, its proceeding direct-to-DVD sequels, and of course, the main course, the 2017 Beauty and the Beast live-action remake. As such, we had a lot to say, and so this is part one of a two-part episode. Enjoy.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Live Action Remorse, the worst podcast in the world. I am Nikki.
I am Roxana.
And we are back for another episode of Misery. Maybe our worst episode yet.
Our worst yet. I think it's going to be... I think this is just... Yeah. This is it.
I guess we should address... I want to address, because I want to delay talking about this fucking movie. The trailer for Moana came out. You know, we usually talk about live action remake news. That came out.
Yes, before we start.
I don't know anyone who liked it, but it got a lot of views on YouTube. But also, I got it as an ad on YouTube several times, so you can't really trust that view counter.
Can't trust anything. It's all industry plants, baby.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I watched the trailer, yes.
I did not.
Did you?
No. I barely even watch trailers for movies that I'm gonna go see, let alone...
Yes. You've stated to me that basically you watch trailers when you're in the theater and they're showing trailers.
Yeah. Which means I'm probably gonna end up fucking seeing this at some point.
Yes, it's gonna happen, because that movie comes out next year.
Well, I did see the first 5 seconds a lot before I could skip ad. I heard some reactions of people hating it. Apparently, The Rock is not in the trailer a lot. And I heard a theory,
he's not.
Which I think is very compelling, that the reason for that is he thought right around now he'd be focusing all his energy to his campaign for the Smashing Machine.
Yes, that makes sense.
But every day his chances of winning Best Actor seem to go down. So
I don't know, we'll see. I know that people didn't really go see the movie, but that doesn't preclude Oscar victories, especially these days.
No, it doesn't, but I don't think I'll get it.
No, I don't think I'll get... I don't know who... I haven't been watching almost jack shit this year in terms of, releases.
It was better in Self-Lane
Tales, hasn't happened.
Anyways.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've been told. I've been told that pimps don't commit suicide. That's what he said.
They don't.
Just for the benefit of any listeners, in the interim between episodes, I have received a cat. So if you hear a cat in the background, this is my cat. Wow. I don't know his name yet, but he, in case there are some minor disruptions as a result of this cat's presence, that's where it comes from. Is there any other news that we've... Oh, yes. In the interim, the Tangled remake that was presumably canceled has been uncanceled. Potentially featuring Scarlett Johansson as Mother Gothel.
Oh my god. Catherine Hahn is right there.
That's what other people said. That's what other people were saying. She really is right there. My assumption, genuinely, is she just played a wicked witch and doesn't want to do it again. Especially for Disney.
But she doesn't seem like the
I would
type
understand.
To, be above it. Even though I love her, she is in those kind of movies.
She is. There are a number of... Hell, even her co-star in the thing where she played a witch recently, Aubrey Plaza, would be better than Scarlett Johansson, I think.
Scarlett doesn't have the energy. She's a decent actress,
she doesn't have the energy.
Doesn't have that kind of,
No, she is.
Shit-eater energy for Mother
Shit-eater, theatrical...
Mm. Everyone being cast in these fucking live-action remakes should be theatrical, but rarely are they ever.
I can say, going forward, because this is a thing, I will say that This is something that is kind of that'll be an interesting point when we finally get to Little Mermaid in the future, because there is a performance that is shooting for the theatricality, because you can't go without it in that case.
It's Aquafina.
But that's in the future. No, it's not Aquafina. I'm gonna die. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the news in relation to these live action remakes. Moana trailer dropped, and Tangled is alive again, with the same director, mind you, Michael Gracie, who did Better Man.
I hope they cancel it movie and uncancel it 5 times over like Futurama.
Damn, that would be very funny. Well, today we are covering Bill Condon's Beauty and the Beast from 2017, based on the animated film from 1990. I keep forgetting the year it came out. It was 91, right?
I believe it is 91.
I think it was 91. Yes, 91. Oh, God, okay. Well, yes. This, to start with, as normal, I did read... Well, this is a bit of a snag compared to usually. Initially, I read, once again, I returned to the fairy books, the versions of the version of the tale cataloged in the Blue Fairy book, and I read it, and quickly I learned that this was an abridgment and revision by Jean-Marie Le Prince de Beaumont. This wasn't the original story, or rather, it wasn't a translation of the original story. I started reading a translation of the original story by Gabriel Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve. It was a translation by James Planchet, and I was trying to read it, and I quickly learned this is kind of fucking unreadable for me. It's not that I didn't comprehend it. There's just so much fucking linguistic cruft and superfluous verbiage that I was just like, I can't do it. So, so I do admittedly, I want to make this confession, not because anyone else cares, but because I care, that I have straight up the Wikipedia article pulled up, comparing both Villeneuve's original version and Beaumont's version. So that is something I want to address. I'm a fake fan. I'm a fake fan.
You're a fake fan. You're a fake fan.
I'm a fake fan.
Taking away your fairy card.
Yes. You can never take away the fact that I am a fucking fairy, because I'm so fucking gay.
Did you at least like the abridged version?
I did. It is much more... I should note, what is adapted in the Disney movie, the Beaumont version is more pertinent anyways. So... it's not a problem. I think that's the version that was more adapted.
What I've heard about the original, and you can confirm this for me.
Yes.
Since you're on Wikipedia and you read some of it, is that
yes,
kind of the intention of the message is supposed to be about arranged marriage, and how if you're arranged to a man, and he seems, beastly, unpleasant, appearances might be deceiving, so you should just go along with your arranged marriage. Is that true? Because I've never touched the literary version.
I would say that's not totally inaccurate. I wouldn't say it's a bad faith reading. Because, again, these are stories that are written to exposit certain, values. They're mainly about values, expressing different values. So, I I don't think it's a bad faith reading at all, unlike the bad faith readings that we will be directly confronting.
Yeah, I just
tonight.
I didn't really think that, the French author from 300 years ago was really thinking about pushing home the message that you need to be accepting of people who seem different.
No, it's really not. It's it's just it's very much about, I do think it is about, in part, challenging assumptions, but I don't think it's about, being different,
Yeah.
I think it's
they might appear different, but underneath they're normal.
Yeah. But that's the other thing. It's like, it's not just about that. It's also what I managed to read of the Planchet translation and the abridged version. It is also, I would say, about sort of I guess, receiving with grace what happens to you. I will go into that further on as we compare the plots of the different works of the 1991 film and of the story.
So yeah, you want to mention the Jean Cocteau version?
Yes, and this was something we did separately from our watches for this movie. It was just a movie that I picked to watch with Nikki.
Let me see, tell me when it was. November of last, so almost exactly 1 year ago. Holy shit! Exactly 1 year ago. From the day
look at us go.
This
is that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's magical. I love that.
Exactly 1 year ago, we watched the 1946 Jean Cocteau adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. And you know more about this, so you should talk.
That is a movie that is so firmly grounded in its love of fairy tales and myth making and the kind of iconography that comes with myth making. It is an influence on Guillermo del Toro and Martin Scorsese. You can see it in the way that Scorsese sort of expresses dream and memory in his work, like in key sequences in Shutter Island and Bringing Out the Dead, when he uses sort of like anytime Scorsese utilizes sort of like ostentatious like reverse photography, he is probably doing a bit of a Cocteau impression. It is a beautiful movie that is also incredibly shambolic in the way a lot of fairy tales are, very structured in a very childlike way. And before we begin proper, I would like to read the opening text as translated for Jean Cocteau's La Belle et la Bête, because I feel like it will be pertinent to everything that we're basically going to be, I guess, sort of refuting in the 2017 film. Children believe what we tell them. They have complete faith in us. They believe that a rose plucked from a garden can bring drama to a family. They believe that the hands of a human beast will smoke when he kills a victim, and that this beast will be shamed when confronted by a young girl. They believe in 1,000 other simple things. I ask of you a little of this childlike simplicity. And to bring us luck, let me speak 4 truly magic words. Childhood's open sesame. Once upon a time. I promise this is relevant to everything, like to the logic that is sort of evinced in the 1991 film, and a logic that is just defied violently and vehemently in the 2017 film. So, with that, I suppose we should just start with the plot of the 1991 film and go from there.
All right. 1991, Beauty and the Beast. There is a young girl in a French village who's a little quirky. She reads. She's intelligent. She isn't always
emotionally intelligent
boys.
As well as
emotionally intelligent and traditionally intelligent. Very self-dependent, very confident in
Yes.
herself, which, for a woman in France in that time, it's very unique, and in the village thinks that she's weird. There's a boy, or a man, the manliest man.
Yes.
uh,
Gaston.
Gaston, who wants her
Yes.
because he can't have her, and really no other reason. Her father.
I'd like to make the aside that Gaston does look a little like Jean Marais in La Belle et la Bête when he's not in the beast makeup. Like,
Yes.
it's a thing, at least.
That movie has good beast makeup. I did want to mention that.
Very good.
I think for me the strongest aspect of that movie is the visuals, definitely.
Oh, it's
shot
incredibly
beautifully,
beautiful visually.
and the special effects hold up really well.
Yes.
Just keep that in mind for later discussions. That the movie from 1946, I think the special effects still look really great.
Yes, 1946. The final shot is just immense.
80 years later,
dealing with 80 years
not
later.
so much.
Atomic bomb versus coughing baby shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Okay, Gaston and her father, Belle's father, the inventor, goes off somewhere I can't remember, and he happens upon a castle hidden deep in the forest, and he seeks shelter inside, but finds out it's inhabited by a beast. And this beast, which I should have mentioned before because it's in the opening prologue, was once a man who was cursed into becoming a beast because he spurned away an old ugly woman who was actually a sorceress.
Yes, an enchantress.
An enchantress. Sorry.
Go.
Respect her fairy nouns. And Belle eventually finds him and trades places with him and becomes the beast's prisoner. And the only thing that can change the beast back into a human, as well as the rest of his staff who have been turned into objects like candlesticks,
various objects,
and clocks, is the only thing that can reverse it all is true love. If someone could truly love the beast and he loves them in return, then everything would return back to normal. Over the course of the film, after he, saves their life, they don't like each other at first, Belle and the Beast, but, saves their life.
He's rather brusque.
They grow to bond of each other, and eventually he lets her go, but then Gaston comes to kill him, so she comes back, and they finally love each other, and he transforms back into a human, and they lived happily ever after.
Yes, it's as streamlined a form for the story as possible. It is every element is expedited and very carefully placed in relation to each other. It's basically the story in its most distilled form possible in a lot of ways. There are obviously changes because, like from the abridged version, there are many changes from the original version in terms of specifically why Beast was turned into a beast to begin with. But, for the most part, it is still firmly Beauty and the Beast. It is still firmly the spine of that story and those archetypes that you find within that framework as found in, like, the Arne Thompson designation, the classification system of folktales. It is literally called, like, that classification is literally called the Beauty and the Beast. So, it is sort of collating a number of those tropes that you'd find in those tales, as well as tellings of the story. But it is still the same story generally, just a different telling. It's very good. It's a good movie. It's beautifully animated, of course, with very strong archetypal characterizations that leave a lasting impression. Everything is in its right place, A very notable thing about Beast in this movie and how the story is told is that, he has an arc, right, in this movie, because he's beastly in both manner and physically he's a beast. And he has to go somewhere for a movie of this type to have anywhere to go. Like, he has to learn something. And then in the version of the story that I read from the Blue Fairy book, he is fine. He is cool. He will ask her for her hand in marriage every night, but, you know, she'll say no, and he'll be like, okay, good night. You know, and he'll, like, they just kind of live together quietly for a while until she becomes homesick. And then she's like, I want to go home. And then he's like, okay, but, and this is something that was in the Jean Cocteau film. If, you know, okay, well, I'll let you go, but if you don't come back within 2 months, I'm going to die. Basically, he didn't do anything wrong. He's just, like, even the Cocteau film adds sort of bristles to his characterization because he's very animal. He kills things, and the blood on his hands smokes, you know, when he kills, as a mark of the sin that he's just committed, you know. Yes. It's very, you know, like, you have to give him something because, you know, again, like, this is for arranged marriages. And thus, he's not really an asshole or prickly in any particular way. He's just a guy that lives in a castle, and he's just there. But as I said, the biggest change, which I'll just read verbatim from the Wikipedia page, because it's elaborate. Well, first off, before I get into this, Beauty is just straight up related to royalty.
Oh.
In the story. She didn't know it because, you know, that's the way a lot of fairy tales are, a lot of revealed royalties.
Yeah.
You know, it could be you know, like that kind of thing. There's a few things, like, her dad is not an inventor, he is a merchant. They had a lot of money from his work as a merchant. Then they lost it all when the house caught fire. Then they went to a house in the forest, and her and her sisters, this man has 6 sons and 6 daughters. It's like, calm down, sir.
He was the real beast. God damn.
Then he learns about a shipment that didn't come through between, because he lost his shipments. Like, it was just misfortune after misfortune. He lost all his shipments. He lost his house. They lost everything except for one shipment of goods that he managed to become aware of. But by the time he got there, it was already sold off by people who assumed him dead. He goes to go back home, but the winter is very bad. The weather is bad, and he ends up having to stay at this castle, which is seemingly empty. This is actually something that does get folded into the 2017 version. The idea that he entered the castle kind of like, well, it seems that things have been left for me, you know? Like, he assumes that, and then that ultimately results in, you know, the central conflict. You know, Beauty stays with him for a long time. Oh, by the way, her sister's assholes, because of course they are. Of course. Brothers are cool.
Of course.
You know, and she asked before he left to bring her a rose. He gets the rose, brings it, he goes to bring it to her, and it's because he plucked the rose that the beast was like, ooh, you ungrateful bastard. I set out this food for you, but you still want more. And the merchant is like, no, wait, fuck, you know, and he, you know, ultimately the beast makes a deal with him, bring me one of your daughters, but they have to come willingly. That was and the other daughters just, they don't want to leave, and they place blame on Beauty for what's happening, even though, you know, it was very much a thing of like, she didn't want anything, and the merchant was like, hey, you gotta want something, because the other daughters, thinking that they were gonna get a bunch of money back, and it was like, oh, I want this, I want that, and she just wanted a rose. And then, you know, she willingly goes to the castle. It says here, moving her father, who remembers a Romani fortune teller's prophecy about his youngest daughter making his household lucky. There is a thing about how the Beast is kind of unable to express himself very well, which is something that is prominent here. And every night she dreams of a handsome stranger imprisoned in the castle, who is revealed to be the Beast in human form. And then, getting back to where I was going initially, when the matter of Beauty's background is resolved, she requests that the prince tell his tale, and I have no idea what the fuck's going on here. The prince informs Beauty that his father died before he was born, and his mother had to fight an enemy to defend the kingdom. The queen left the prince in the care of his evil fairy godmother, who tried to seduce him when he became an adult, and helped his mother win the war. When the war ended, the evil fairy accompanied the queen and prince back to the castle and asked him to marry her, but the prince refused, and the fairy, in a rage, transformed him into an ugly beast in front of his shocked mother. Before leaving mother and son, the evil fairy warned them that only a maiden's act of true love could break the spell, and that if anyone else beside the queen knew about it, the prince would be a beast forever. After the prince's godmother left, the good fairy arrived to help him by turning the castle servants to stone to prevent them from revealing the curse to outsiders, and promising to protect his mother from the evil fairy. The good fairy also summoned her genie servants to keep the prince company while he waited for Beast's arrival. At the end of his story, the prince revealed to Beauty that the animals in the castle were those same servants, and the good fairy had caused her to see the prince's true self in dreams.
All right.
The departure at the end of this is fucking just wild. Like, from this point on, it is completely unrecognizable from the story that is known, and the Beaumont version is much more the story that people know. I would go on, but I think that's as much as is relevant. Though, I should note that in Beaumont's version, the Beauty sisters just get turned into statues because they suck.
Damn.
But, yeah. So then, we get to... We've covered the Disney movie.
No, wait.
Which again is very good.
Whoa, hold on. Wait, we didn't talk about the Disney movie at all.
Wait, no, yeah.
You're
talking about the Disney movie.
The fairy tale for 5 minutes. Let me talk about the Disney movie.
I'm going back. Okay, yeah. Go talk about the Disney movie.
I want to talk about it.
That's what I meant.
Because I think it's a perfect movie.
Yes, it is.
You mentioned, the plotting, the story is very tight, Like, I think about that, narrative efficiency. That opening song, Provincial Life, whatever it's called. It tells you so fucking much, and you don't even realize that you're being exposited to,
Yes, exactly.
And
100%.
Like, just how there's, a very specific relationship between Belle and the town, which they fuck up in the remake, but we'll get to that.
Oh, boy.
And, what, she really wants in life, and how she feels and all that. And I just to say, the music is fucking amazing.
The songs are superlatives, actually.
Howard Ashman,
we're dealing with,
and Alan Menken, who had previously done Little Mermaid before this.
Yes, they did.
This is just as good.
Yes.
They're both hitting it out the park. We love Ashman. Rest in peace.
Yes.
This was his last. I think he might have contributed 1 or 2 songs that ended up being used on Aladdin. But this is his real last.
Yes. Yes, this is his last work that he was fully able to commit to before, AIDS stole him from this world.
Fuck Ronald Reagan.
And fuck Ronald Reagan forever. Fuck Ronald Reagan. And I want to also note, I just want to foreground, though I said he died of AIDS, I want to foreground the fact that Howard Ashman was gay. If you did not know. And, I want to foreground this because it will become later with regards to matters of queer representation later in ways that make me very angry and upset because this is one of Disney that like the remake is one of Disney's many first gay characters. We'll get into that.
It is relevant. You know, you look at this and you look at Little Mermaid, and Little Mermaid's about, you know, this girl who just wants to be part of that other world where everyone is happy and she isn't the way she is, and this is also this is even more foregrounded about a love that's forbidden, that makes people so fucking mad they want to go kill the beast. Even just feeling like a beast is queer.
These are movies about matters of the body and soul, and about how others respond to those desires, you know, like I've called it in relation to Frankenstein, you know, reaching for a light that is not yours, you know. And you know, it's something that Ashman was, you know, sort of moving through a lot in his work, between his, like, you know, his works with Disney and the Little Shop of Horrors, and it, you know, it's very foregrounded already within the work. So keep that in mind as we move further into this, because it will be relevant. Firmly. It is relevant in the work. And it will be relevant with regards to how that work is remade and massacred.
Yes. Even moving past the music, visually, it's a beautiful movie. The colors pop so much. You know, it's all, the designs on everything are amazing. All the, you know, all the object people look like they look. It's hard to describe it. They look right. You know, it's a very hard thing to have a candelabra that looks like a man and still looks like a candelabra and doesn't fuck up either. Mrs. Potts, you know, they're all good. You know, the animation is not as high fidelity as the rest of the Disney Renaissance. You know, I'll just say, you know, Aladdin, Lion King, Pocahontas. Those are smoother animated movies, you know. But I think the animation does exactly what it needs to be. You know, with the character animation specifically, especially on the Beast, it's very precise. It's very precise. It conveys these very precise emotions because he's a man of few words, but you always know exactly how he feels. And, you know, that's hard because he doesn't have a fucking human face, but they managed to do it really, really well. I think it's some of Disney's earliest experiments with CGI, with the ballroom and maybe one or two other elements.
I believe it was called a cap system.
Yeah, I think they did it in Great Mouse Detective first, but this is
yes they did.
It looks good. It looks good. You know, early
it does
CGI
not stick out,
especially sometimes when it's shoved into 2D animated movies. Does not always look good, but you know, it's used appropriately. You know, if that big, you know, tracking shot of the ballroom was hand animated, first of all, people would fucking die. You know, the poor animators.
Someone would die. Fucking Richard Williams just waking up and be like, "Do you need me?"
But also,
I'll get in there.
It would be very hard to not look, you know, jittery. I was gonna say it would look jittery, it would look strange, but then I remembered Richard Williams could make it look normal, but no one wanted
but then
to be
he'd blow the whole budget.
Richard Williams production. Okay, that isn't how Disney did things. It is like I said, I think it is genuinely one of those movies that's just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing about it that I would change. It is, you know, it's not my favorite movie of all time. You know,
but it's just everything that it's trying to be.
Yeah, everything that it's trying to be. Like, I can't look at one specific thing and say, "Oh, they should have done this differently. Oh, this doesn't work." No, it's all great. It's fucking funny. Gaston is amazing.
Gaston, animated by Andreas Deja, who is also gay. So jot that down. I'm foreshadowing real hard.
He's a great villain because he's both funny and then when he needs to be scary, he actually is scary. You do genuinely believe he could kill the Beast at the end,
which is another problem we'll get into with the other movies. That guy is not mean enough.
Yeah, it's a miracle of a movie. It got nominated for Best Picture.
Yes.
It
got nominated for Best Picture.
It got the acclaim I think it deserved at the time.
It got Best Picture to the degree that the Academy was like, oh, they were sweating like Jordan Peele, so they had to get rid of any opportunity for an animated movie to win Best Picture with the animated film categories.
Well, that was coming around, especially with Shrek. They were a bit worried Shrek would get nominated for Best Picture. Too many people were thinking about it. It's like, no, we're doing the category this year. You could give that to Shrek.
Oh, so we have Shrek to blame for even more.
It's not Shrek's fault, okay?
I'll blame Shrek for anything, okay?
It's a good movie.
Even things it didn't do. I know it's a good movie, but it also has damned us.
Well, really, isn't it Disney's fault that Shrek exists at all? So just blame Disney.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh, I'll blame... It all comes back to Disney the way it all comes back to Reagan.
But yeah, Beauty and the Beast. It's a wonderful fucking movie. I didn't see it until I was an adult. Yes. I did not see it as a child. This was not my first time seeing it. I have the Blu-ray. My mom said, "Oh, it's one of my favorite Disney movies. We should watch it." So I got it and we watched it. And I said, "Wow, that's amazing."
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a joy to revisit. And you could just take this moment, sit in it. That feels nice. Talking about a good movie that I love.
Yes.
Knowing everything else we have to talk about is irredeemable dog shit.
This is that moment just before like the precipice, like when you know you're about to drop and you feel queasy.
This is how it felt when we finished watching the movie.
Because it's like finding a well in the desert and the water is somehow cold and very refreshing, knowing that the entire rest of the Sahara awaits you.
The save room in Resident Evil. This is...
Yes. And now we have to go fight some resurrected corpses of things that should have been left alone.
You know, every episode, or almost every episode, you read, the fairy tale. And, I wanted to contribute in my own way to the extra material. And you might like fairy tales, but I love retro video games.
Yes.
And so there are 3 Beauty and the Beast video games. There was a dual release on the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And then years later, there was a Game Boy Color game. Now, I watched a video of the NES game, and it's basically the same as the SNES game. And then the Game Boy Color game is like this weird board game thing. It is cool because it's the only one you get to play as Belle. But that might just be for the first level. I don't know. It's also apparently dog shit, so I didn't want to do it. I did play the SNES version. I played it all the way through. And Roxy watched me do it. I streamed it to her.
Yes, I did do that.
Full transparency. I'll admit to the court, I used save states heavily.
we both cheated. We both cheated.
I will not lie under oath.
We both did it. We both had confessions to make on this podcast but to be fair, cause we both had grueling challenges ahead of us, right? But I feel like yours was worse in a way, because that was really a slog to witness. I can't imagine playing it. That seemed real bad.
To go into the cadence of a man I respect deeply, I'd rather have a walrus take a diarrhea shit down my nose than ever fucking play Beauty and the Beast SNES ever again. It is one of the worst games I've ever fucking played. Mind you, the NES version is supposed to be even worse. You know, they didn't even release the NES version in America. It's only in fucking Europe and Japan. So, but no, they said the SNES version, this is good enough for the whole world. And it is fucking terrible. Oh my god. Oh, it's fucking Hudson Soft, and you know, they aren't like, they didn't have like an unbeatable streak in the 90s or something. They could put out some stinkers, but Jesus, usually better than this. Oh my god. It's it's like an action platformer. You play as the Beast. First of all, there's only 4 fucking levels in the whole game. Okay, let's just start with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
With fucking save states, what did it take me? Like an hour to beat the whole thing? 90 minutes, I'd say, closer to. I know that is with cheating, right? And I know it is also, you know, where you replay games back in the day. But you would never ever want to fucking replay this. You'd bring it fucking back to, you know, this store and say, give me my goddamn money back, you piece of shit. Or you'd rent it and, you know, maybe even fucking beat it in the rental period. And it's first of all, it's an action platform. Let's start with the action. You have 2 moves. You can claw or you can roar. First of all, the claw is such a fucking like piddly tiny hitbox. You're this giant fucking beast. You have this giant ass hitbox, which is bigger than your mother's ass, and fucking every enemy can hit you. But your fucking tiny little like fucking claw, you know, fucking, you know, that like homophobic hand gesture they do where they wave the hand around and they think, oh, that's your attack and you're the Beast. You know, you can also do a kind of ground pound thing, but fucking don't read the manual because it'll tell you to do the ground pound thing and it never fucking works. So throw the manual out right now. And the platforming and the action, oh my god. What if every level was the ice level? Jesus Christ. This is, oh my god, the Beast needs a wheelchair or something. It's fucking insane. It's so slippery. The momentum is so fucked up. You have to get like such a running start to be able to go anywhere. You know, in Mario, you can just like walk 1 step forward and you can do most of a full length jump. And not here, not fucking here. You know, if you do that, you're gonna do a little piddly jump. And then when you do the piddly jump, this is the fun part. This is the little part the developer put in the game and said, wouldn't it be funny if we fucking fucked everyone over for no reason? Wouldn't that be hilarious? If you do that piddly jump, then you land on the ledge. And this is the funniest prank in the history of gaming. Because if you land on the ledge, fuck you, you're not on the ledge. He jumps off the ledge. Why does he jump off the ledge? I don't know. You do a little like teeter there, like, you know, like Sonic the Hedgehog, but instead of Sonic staying still, he has to like jump forward or jump back, whatever fucking direction the game decides at random. And I don't want, let me just stand there. Let me just stand there. What's so wrong with me just standing there? Would that be so terrible? And I forgot to even mention the roar. The fucking roar move. It's supposed to...
The roar mechanic.
The roar mechanic. It's supposed to freeze enemies. That's what the manual says. That's another lie. It only freezes bats. So only use it on bats. And you can use the bats as platforms. Because that's so intuitive, right? Obviously, you roar at the bats to make them freeze, and then you could use them as a platform. That was my favorite scene in the movie. And there's a bunch of fucking floating platforms in the Beast's basement, and you also roar to activate the fucking platforms. Jesus. The first level is the worst one. It's so, there's spikes everywhere. You're in his basement. I don't understand what's going on. There's power-ups that do nothing. Like you get the magic mirror and it just shows you like a next part of the level. And it's like, it's not like it's a blind jump or anything that's showing you. Mind you, There are blind jumps in this game, but they never fucking use the magic mirror then. Fucking final boss
really
is a piece of
for your
shit.
life.
Gaston, you have to hit him 1,000,000 times, and he shoots arrows at you, and he punches you in the face, and you don't have enough health. And there's a fucking timer in this game, and if I didn't use save states, I would have ran out of time multiple times. There's a fucking stupid ass rising floor spikes. The whole time you're playing this, and you're thinking, wow, I wish I was never born. But you're also thinking, why did they even make a video game of Beauty and the Beast? Well, it's not an action movie. There wasn't anything there. Because of course there wasn't anything there. Why the fuck would there... And that's just the SNES version. And that's just the fucking SNES version. And that's supposed to be the best version.
Well, don't ask me to touch the NES version, because I'm not doing that. I don't like myself.
You know what's fucked up? You know what's really fucked up?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably rather play the game again than watch the next three movies we're about to talk about. After all that, I'd probably rather play the game again than watch the 2 direct-to-video movies of the remake. So let that set the tone.
Nightmare. Yes. Okay. The next one, I forgot what the next one is called.
The next one is Belle's Enchanted Christmas.
Ah, yes.
Beauty and the Beast. Oh, sorry. Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. That's why I remember not being able to find it because I was searching Belle's Enchanted Christmas, but it's not that. Holy shit. This is a direct-to-video sequel.
Ah, yes.
It's released in...
They didn't put this one in theaters, unlike Jungle Book.
1997.
Or Jungle Book 2.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Jungle Book 2. Fucking, I don't understand that. 1997. Oh, it's a midquel. First of all, it's not a direct-to-DVD sequel. It's a direct-to-DVD midquel. It takes place during the movie. Actually, we have to talk about this, right? But I just remembered something else that I want to talk about with the original movie.
Yes.
So before we move on, let's backtrack a little bit. I think this is irrelevant because I think this will come up again with the direct-to-video sequels because I think this problem is probably more legitimate there. But you want to talk about Stockholm Syndrome?
Okay. It has been much stated that Belle in Beauty and the Beast has that she suffers from Stockholm Syndrome because she was kidnapped by the Beast, is his prisoner, and ultimately falls in love with him. This is the biggest crock of shit that has been so often stated over and over again. It gets my goat way fucking worse than any toe cutting in Cinderella. It's so much worse than that. It's so bad. It is evidence of people who would rather use art as a sort of moral cudgel or a gotcha rather than actually engaging with the contents of the work and their presentation. It's the dumbest fucking thing.
It's the dumbest
possible.
Thing. It's, you know,
it might be my least favorite complaint of all of these, even more than any of the ones found in Little Mermaid. No, wait, scratch that, never mind. But it's up there.
Yeah, it's up there. You'd always see, in the early to mid 2010s, BuzzFeed type sites would be like the dark truth behind your favorite Disney movies, and they would always say,
yes,
Beauty and the Beast is actually Stockholm Syndrome. And I've been thinking about this a lot today, and I have things I want to say in advance. Because I know I'm going to get just get really mad about it and just become nonsensical like I did for the SNES game.
Go.
I want to get I just want to get some real arguments down on paper. First of all,
yes, get them down right.
Stockholm Syndrome is not a real syndrome recognized by the psychiatric community. It is just a thing that people say. The original case in Stockholm and the ensuing diagnosis has been widely criticized for making overreaching assumptions based on not enough context. Even ignoring all of that, even if we were to accept it as a real thing, what actually happens in 1991 Beauty and the Beast? Belle gets imprisoned in his castle. She hates him. Some time goes by, and her feelings do not change at all. She still hates him, so she leaves the castle on her own accord. When that happens, he comes out and rescues her from wolves that were going to kill her. Seeing that he is in a very bad state and he would probably die if she left him there, she brings him back to the castle to heal his wounds, and this is the turning point in their relationship where she starts to like him more. She starts to like him more after she's already escaped his imprisonment. And the reason why is because he did something very selfless. The movie is very clear about when and why she begins to like him. And more time goes by.
It's almost like this is the function to that plot beat.
And she likes him some more, and eventually he lets her go willingly. Now, here's an important part, okay? At this point in the movie, she does not love him. And we know this objectively, because he says he loves her, but he has not turned back into a human. And they both need to love each other for him to turn back into a human. And so if he has it, then we can only logically conclude that even though she likes him very much, she does not love him. And then at the end of the movie, when he again takes, a gun to the back or an arrow to the back and dies for her sake, then she finally loves him. So the only points in their relationship where she begins to like him is when she isn't in his imprisonment. And when she is, she hates him.
She at best resents him deeply for stealing her away from the life that she knows.
Yes.
And otherwise, it can be read as hate, because that's a very reasonable, it's a very rational reason to hate a person.
The Stockholm argument doesn't hold up to even the slightest bit of scrutiny when you look at the actual content of the film. It's just something you hear, and if you haven't seen the movie since you were 8 years old and you're 20 now, you think, oh yeah, maybe. But if you actually watched it again, you're like, oh no, that makes no sense. And they wouldn't write it like that, because if they wrote it like that, the movie would be bad. The movie wouldn't be good.
It wouldn't function. It wouldn't function as any of the things that it's trying to be.
The romance, which is very good in the final version, would be underbaked and rushed and not believable. This movie got fucking nominated for Best Picture. Not to say a bad movie hasn't been nominated for Best Picture before, but just still, people loved it. People still love it. It's a good movie. It's too good for that reading to make sense. I know that is subjective. But I have also laid out what I think is an objective argument about why it is not Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, no, nothing in its contents suggests that whatsoever. It's not there. They people genuinely, it's I made a kind of half joke about how all of the people who insist upon Stockholm Syndrome being the conclusion that they extrapolate, that they would extrapolate from the movie. I've made a point, I made a joke that they all sound like Gaston. they sound like fucking villains who didn't watch the movie.
Yeah, I can't even say it's a bad faith reading, because I just can't see it in any faith of any real viewing of the film to come away with that. It's nonsensical. It is not a good argument. It does not make sense as an argument. And I wanted to front load that before we got to the direct-to-video sequels.
Yeah, we're loading it in the chamber so that we can fire it off in a 3-round burst when we talk about the proceeding works, which are terrible. So do you want to address Beast's behavior, or do I? I feel like you should, because
I'll start.
Yeah, you start.
If you were a big fan of that Stockholm reading, and you wanted to see a movie where the Beast is a piece of shit and Belle just starts loving him for no goddamn reason, do I have two movies for you, baby? And we're starting with
possibly
Beauty
3.
and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, where the Beast is
So
an asshole. He plots.
all right.
No, you go into it.
Beast. Like this is a midquel set between like in the interim during the 1991 film, wherein it's Christmas time and Beast is with Belle, and they're kind of, I don't know, they're going through their days, right? And Belle wants to celebrate Christmas. She wants to celebrate Christmas at the castle. And Beast is like, no, I don't like Christmas. And she talks to all the people in all the people in the castle, all the object people, the servants. And she's like, why doesn't he like Christmas so much? And it's just like, well, and like everybody, I want to make it clear that every servant who in the 1991 movie, they do care for him very deeply.
Yes.
I want to make that very, very clear. They care about him very deeply, and they are a little wary around him, but they do not fear for their mortal lives. They don't fear that he will physically destroy them.
No.
When he is inconvenienced or annoyed by their behaviors or anything that they implore him to do many times over.
Like Lumiere is like his right hand man, right?
And he's his guy.
And Lumiere oversteps, so many times. So many times he goes against what the Beast says because he thinks it's for the better.
Yes. They do, but like ultimately they do care about him very much, and he cares about them very much.
Mm-hmm.
They are not
family.
Well, yes, because at the end of the day, and this is an extension of the Stockholm Syndrome thing mildly, they are all imprisoned in this castle.
Yes,
all of them. They're all imprisoned. The Beast is imprisoned by the curse, as are the servants.
Mm-hmm.
They are all trapped here. And as such, their relationship is not so much, it isn't shaped like, a typical monarch and their servants,
Yeah.
Because he doesn't, they don't really have, they have this living space, and it's able to sustain them, but also I don't really think I don't even know if no, I'm not gonna get into that. I was gonna go into do the servants need food, but that's not anything, because I can suspend disbelief, unlike some people. But
they get pizza delivered to the sewer grate like in Ninja Turtles, and they just slide.
Oh my god!
The money through. Or maybe they do since it's a Christmas movie. Maybe they do it like Home Alone. They play the VHS tape, and they say, "Get your keister off of my property."
But yeah, they do love him, and he loves them, and it's not it's not very much a master servant dynamic. It feels much more like he's kind of their big brother in a way, that they're trying to get him to behave a little better in the face of possible opportunity for bettering his life and bettering their lives. And it's it's interesting because they're more concerned about his well-being than they are for theirs, because they're pretty relatively content. I say relatively because that's not a great position to be in. Relatively content being turned into objects. They are more concerned about Beast and the capacity for him to potentially just remain that way forever. So I want to make all of that very clear before getting into this movie because all of the servants are scared shitless of him.
Yes. It
all
is
of them.
explicit
They're all
in the movie. He's banned Christmas, right? And I think if we do Christmas and he finds out, he's gonna fucking kill us.
Yes. They're very afraid, and understandably so, considering he took, I can't remember what she, like, he took the castle decorator when she was transformed into an object, the object that she was transformed into, because it was Christmas when the curse was, set upon the castle by the enchantress. Because it was Christmas, she was turned into a Christmas ornament, an angel ornament. And he basically says, as a result of his, her present being and appearance, her corporeal form has taken the form of that which he hates most at this point due to Christmas trauma. So he straight up takes her and all the other decorations which are now alive and fucking locks them in the where was it again? Was it an
tower?
Attic? It was in a tower. In a tower. So, like, she didn't do anything. I want to make that clear. Like, no. I want to make that really explicitly clear that she did not do anything at all. And he imprisoned her for the crime of being turned by an enchantress into a fucking ornament. Something like, I don't, which, that's evil. I said that when we watched it. That's evil.
Yeah.
That's terrible. No, you don't. Look, I understand the pain. Or I don't, because that's silly. Like, I understand that Beast as a character is undergoing a lot of pain related to Christmas. I understand that on a narrative level, but I cannot imagine that the Beast that I spent like 90 or so minutes watching in the 1991 film to be so cruel as to subject her to the fucking oubliette because she happens to embody a Christmas ornament at the time. That's dreadful, and we're already starting off on a terrible, terrible foot, which is only going to get worse relating to Beast.
It's... Here's something. Yeah, I think this is a problem with both of them. It's probably more of a problem with the second one because of what the nature of what it is. But,
yes.
Something I thought was strange about the original movie, originally, was how little time it seems Belle is actually at the castle.
Mm-hmm.
That first escape attempt, it's portrayed as being like the same night she arrived, Asks her for dinner, she says no, and she does be our guest, then she looks in the West Wing, then she leaves. And the time between that and her being let free again is also portrayed as a pretty short amount of time. It's unclear, which is why they slot these two movies in there. But it's also portrayed as a pretty short amount of time. And I thought that was strange at first. But, now that I'm thinking about it, I realize that it has to be like that. Because if he kept her imprisoned too long, then he becomes unlikable. Then he becomes an asshole. And
yes,
these movies stretch out that period of time, so now he looks more like an asshole.
It's notable, right? Because it is true to the whole fairy tale thing, the fairy tale time situation. Because the fairy tale time situation is like, I think I've read to you the Joseph Jacobs quote, right?
You might have.
Yeah, it's basically that it's a quote from a fairy tale book by Joseph Jacobs that basically indicates if it didn't take place in your time or my time or any other time, then it's fairy tale time.
Yes.
You know, it is something, it is just without any particular time or place. And this also applies to the passage of time, in addition to, you know, a temporal setting. You know, like, it takes place during, like in this time, but also across this amount of time that isn't designated at all. It could be years, it could be months, because that's the way that you tell a story to a child. They don't think about it in terms of time. They haven't processed that yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't learned to process the passage of time very well, when every moment that passes doing something that a child doesn't like may as well be 2,000 years. You know, there's no sense of permanence there yet in a lot of those cases. And so that's something that the 1991 film is true to. It's true to the fact that it doesn't really divulge exactly how much time, because that might not be beneficial to the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that is, you know, like you said, it doesn't help things with regards to Beast's characterization the longer that she's there.
It's just one of the several ways that narratively this just does not function as a midquel. It doesn't work, you know?
No, yeah, no.
It's even the dynamic with Beast, like she likes him and he doesn't like her, and it's like, when is that in the movie? That never happens. He falls first.
That's not a thing. Yeah.
It's even the fucking like flashback scene of like his Christmas where he gets cursed and Lumiere gives him a book and he's like, I wanted an Xbox, and then the fucking Enchantress comes. They don't even get the Enchantress scene right. They get the details wrong. She doesn't ask him a second time.
Yes.
He just says no once, and she's like, fuck you.
Fuck you, kid. We've decided that the Enchantress, as depicted in the animated canon, is sounds like a chain smoker. Imagine an Enchantress that sounded like David Lynch.
Appearances can be deceiving.
I sentence you to beastlyhood.
Fucking Tim Curry is in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Tim Curry is in this movie. He's not enough to really help the movie, but he's Tim Curry.
He is Tim Curry. He's the best part of the movie. I'll give him that.
He's the best part of the movie, outright, out front. He's doing his thing, laying it all out. There is no such thing as half-assing it when you're Tim Curry, you know?
Yeah.
He's great. He's enjoyable. And he's doing as much as he can with terrible songs.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. Take all the time you need. Tim Curry is the main villain of this, right?
Yes, he's the primary I think he's the only real antagonist, unless we count Beast.
Yeah, okay.
Oh wait, no, there's him and there's his little
he has a little
Piccolo
Paul
guy.
Rubens, buddy.
Paul Rubens. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what is his goal in this movie?
You know, it's like I am really actually trying, right? Like, I'm actually trying here to attempt to parse whatever the hell that is. And guess what? I can't find anything. I don't understand, because it's incomprehensible, because there is no plan. It's literally just, I am an evil guy. That's it.
He doesn't want Christmas, because if they have Christmas,
he's the devil.
Then Belle and the Beast will fall in love, and then he won't be able to control the Beast as much, I think, is the motivation.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, sir, you are an organ. You got turned into an organ. Don't you want to be a human man again? Does that not bother you at all? You don't have legs. You can't move. You're stuck in this room.
You are like look. And like there are people there's plenty of people without legs, but none of them are fused into the fucking wall of a sequestered room.
He's fused into the wall. He can't move under any reason. And he's another way.
It's so
like another way stupid. It doesn't function as a midquel, because they fucking kill this guy, and like that would probably put a fucking damper on your relationship if you killed a guy who's known your boyfriend since he was a kid.
He looked like the devil.
He doesn't make sense. I don't want to say he's a bad villain, because he is still Tim Curry, you know, and that does give him a lot of leeway. But
that gives him points in the villain category. You know, he's really chewing it up, because that's what he did. That's what Tim Curry does. He chewed it way up, and I enjoyed that.
He's CGI too. I should mention that. There's CGI in this movie.
We got that. Okay. Have you ever seen the CGI Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It looks like that. It looks really... And I can't
it looks like fucking Reboot.
Get on its case... Yes, it looks like Reboot. And I can't get on its case too much in this factor, because the movie came out in the 90s, right?
I can get on its ass a little bit. Just animate the organ in 2D.
This is true.
I don't think he did anything where I'm like, oh, well, that's why it had to be CGI. Like, I talked about, like, the ballroom in the original, how that would have been so insanely hard to animate with the shots they wanted to do. But he just... He doesn't... Again, he doesn't move. He's fused to the wall. And they don't have, like, any, like, experimental tracking shots, because then they'd have to fucking animate the 2D elements too, and they don't have the budget to do that.
It's so...
Belle is a goddamn idiot.
They just
in this
didn't...
movie.
Oh...
She's supposed to be smart.
That's kind of her whole thing, is that she's very thoughtful.
Very thoughtful. She doesn't think to, talk to the Beast about Christmas. There's another movie that could be resolved if they just talked, And there's no reason
this movie could have been an email.
She leaves the castle to go find a Christmas tree. Even though she's forbidden to leave the castle, she thinks, surely he'll be okay if I get a Christmas tree without telling him. And it's like, no, why would he? Of course he's mad.
It's real bad and doesn't function as a midquel. And it's just, what more is there to say, I feel like?
There's an axe who is Jewish.
There's an axe who's, like, specifically... New York Jewish, like Yiddish.
No, there's anything wrong with that. I just didn't expect the axe to be Jewish.
Yeah. It was more, and like, I think the thing that threw us about it was more that they, like, most of the characters are very non-specific, or not non-specific, but like they come from all over.
Yeah.
Right? But they don't feel out of place, I guess. There's the British teapot and the French candelabra, and there's no specific marker of a specific point in time. And then you have a New York Jewish guy who is this axe. Well, I don't oppose it, but it does kind of, like, it's not so much a complaint. It's closer to nitpick on that scale, but it is a little weird, a little out of place, I think.
It's a bit more specific than the other accents.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, but it's just I just found it more kind of funny in how it stuck out than anything.
He does start rambling in Yiddish at some point, and I'm just like, man, what is this guy's life like?
What's your deal? What's your deal, man? Where'd you come from?
That should have been the movie. Learning about how that guy lives his life, practices his faith as an axe.
How do you practice your faith as an axe?
It's very easy to circumcise.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you. We're gonna by the end of this podcast, we're gonna be like the lighthouse. Like once we're done, once we get to the finish line, we're gonna be insane. Is there anything else that we have to mention before we move on to the even worse movie that is barely a movie?
Holy shit! Can you guys believe that the next one is worse, and it's not even for a debate? They're both no, this one is way worse. I don't have anything more to say about The Enchanted Christmas.
In Beauty and the Beast, Belle's magical world, everything is ass. It is 3 episodes of a failed television program that are recklessly shellacked together.
Yes.
In a
It's an anthology movie made out of the bones of a canned TV show. And I'll say what I said to you when I watched it. If this wasn't good enough for TV, which it is not, why the hell is it good enough to be a movie?
It is a film devised of just pure refuse, actually. And that is not to diminish the labor that goes into making a thing like this, because of course not. I never want to diminish the actual hard labor that goes into making any of these things, but that doesn't change the fact that it's ass. It's just, this shit is so ass.
There's no mistaking for what it is. The movie is in fucking 4x3. It's, aren't you embarrassed? Don't you have standards and reputations?
No, something? They don't. We wouldn't be doing this podcast if they did.
What are the fucking stories in this? What's the first one?
I gotta shore them up.
There's a dictionary.
Steadily eroding memory. There's a dictionary.
They read a story. What the fuck happens in the first one?
I don't sound like the dictionary, right?
I don't think so.
Tell me I don't sound like the dictionary. Okay, good.
There's a lot of original characters in this. I just say, who the hell are you?
Patrick showing up and there's a bunch of guys under his rock.
Oh, okay,
who are you people?
Here it says on the letterbox description what each story is. Number 1, The Perfect World. Belle and the Beast learn about forgiveness. So Belle and the Beast have an argument about something, and Belle doesn't want to forgive him until he apologizes. So some of the guys write a fake letter of apology from the Beast to Belle, and then they get fucking exiled from the castle when he finds out. And they have to go live in the woods.
He damns them to be lost. And keeping in mind, it's not a thing in the movie that nobody's supposed to know, right? I can't remember that. Is that the case?
About knowing about the castle?
Yeah, knowing about the castle and knowing about the curse specifically.
They never say anything like that. Them staying there.
Like that. Okay.
I feel like the implication is they just stay there because where else are they supposed to go? They're objects. They can't go into the city.
They're objects and a beast that would be killed.
Yes.
Yeah, he just tells them fuck off. And he's like, I never want to see you again. It's like, first of all, it's not that serious, Beast. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's actually
you could say that about
not
the last
that serious.
That was one of my notes. It's fucking Christmas. It's not that serious.
Yeah. I understand that the part of the whole deal with Beast is that he's kind of mentally stuck in the time that he got turned into a beast. And the 1991 movie expresses this very, very well. I want to be clear on that the movie does not conflate immaturity with fundamental mean-spiritedness. He is immature throughout the body of the 1991 film. That doesn't make him a bad person. Because he's not. He's really, like, he's just someone who was turned to a beast before he could really learn how to be a person to begin with. Mm-hmm. There's always that, like, I know that that's not foregrounded, but there's the tinge of that kind of tragedy in his whole deal, These movies just treat and make him out to be the worst man ever. This guy makes Reynolds Woodcock from Phantom Thread look like a goddamn angel. He's just so awful. And it just gets worse throughout the episodes, the anthology story segments. It gets worse. Bad guy. So there's that.
Second one, which is my favorite. And by my favorite, I mean it's the stupidest fucking one that makes me lose my goddamn mind.
Are you gonna talk about is this the one with
Lumiere,
the feather, Lumiere and the
Folly.
Fifi?
You can talk about this one. Sounds like you're a little interested in it.
Fifi gets very jealous. It wasn't her name. Her name was changed, right? Wasn't it Babette?
Yeah, they changed her name.
They just forgot.
They just forgot.
They forgot. I'm just gonna call her as Babette, because that's her fucking name, guys. Babette becomes convinced that Lumiere is fucking macking on Belle, to which we say, that is a fucking candelabra.
Yeah. I think she's cheating on her with Belle. He's a fucking candlestick, and she's a human woman. Like, I get that you're already, a candlestick and a feather duster, so it's already fucking, like, whatever, but first of all, that's not like him. Second of all, fucking misunderstanding plots where the person always, eavesdrops at the exact wrong moment and then leaves at the exact wrong moment. No one likes these. No one on Earth likes these.
I've never, ever in all my years on this fucking rock have I ever enjoyed this kind of misunderstanding plot. So much media is made out. It's just like, well, you know what? If you had to contrive yourself to get into this situation, then you shouldn't have fucking written it, okay?
Yeah. Yet another thing that could be resolved if they just talked to each other. It's just said, hey, Lumiere, what the fuck's going on between you and Belle?
It's dreadful. Actually dreadful. I hate it.
It is so frustrating. And then they
eventually
on a
Babette
cliff and some bullshit.
Yes. Yeah, because Babette snaps and she's like, I'm gonna kill that Belle. Because she's firmly convinced that she and Lumiere are about to go on a carriage ride, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, I wanted to go with you on the carriage ride. And she's like, but she already sabotaged like the ropes so that, it would detach from the dog, and then the Ottoman dog. There's an Ottoman dog we didn't mention. That's a thing we never mentioned about the 1991 movie, is the Ottoman dog. He's a little guy. I love him.
Yeah.
The Ottoman dog, like the rope is fucking weakened because she sawed into it somehow.
How the fuck did she do that? She's a goddamn feather duster.
She did that, and then the whole carriage spins out of control and leaves them dangling off a cliff, and Lumiere is like, I had this letter I wanted to read to you, I love you, and all that shit. I'm like, oh my god. And then ultimately they are saved, and that's how that one ends. Oh, we didn't mention the song that plays during one interstitial.
Oh yeah, okay. The interstitial. There is an interstitial between there's 3 stories. There's interstitial between the first and the second, but not the second and the third. And it is very obviously just like what would have been in the background of the credits of the show or the opening, either or, right? And it's like, why the fuck is it here? Actually, that's a good opportunity. The one thing I should have mentioned with the last movie, the music was very bad. That movie had, musical numbers. A lot of talking, and they all just kind of sounded the same. And the music in this, there are no musical numbers, but, that one musical interstitial. Also not very good.
And then the third story, alright, this is one that really gets the goat. So, do you remember the scene famously in the first movie where Beast tends to a bird?
Yes.
Just for a little bit, you know?
Him and Belle go out in the garden and feed the birds. He has a big pile of seeds in his hand and he holds them out. Birds jump in and start pecking away, and he has a big toothy smile on his face because this is such a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is an indication that he genuinely is a decent person. It is a signifier of his humanity in the face of his beastliness, that he would simply feed the birds. Now imagine, if you will, that the Beast hates birds, because why was it again?
He hates animals, and the bird flies into the castle, so they tell he hates animals because the day he was cursed, it was Christmas, and he hates animals.
That's the other one.
And the day he was cursed, it was animals. His mother was killed by birds. Yeah, they don't say why he hates birds. They just kind of say he fucking hates birds. And, well, first he hates the bird. And then the bird sings a pretty song. And he's like, actually, I love the bird. I'm gonna keep the bird in a cage.
And then Belle's like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? And he's like, I want the bird. It'll sing for me. And she's like, no, that's bad. He's like, but I want it. He's just like, and then she draws a direct parallel between her being imprisoned and the bird being imprisoned. And he's just so he's this is him at his bottom. This is his worst. He is just straight up evil here.
Yeah. Why would you love this guy?
He's so bad.
You have Stockholm
Why would you love this
syndrome.
guy? This Belle has Stockholm syndrome, not the 1991 movie.
It was gonna be the idea of this as a TV show, which, since it's Disney Channel, would have presumably ran for 65 episodes. It's insane. It's insane. Someone wrote this. Did they even...
Someone wrote this.
I don't think they watched the original movie. They don't fucking know Babette's name. They forgot, the scene where he loves the birds, which is seemingly before that episode is set. Holy shit. It is like a 1 out of 10 movie, Roxy. It is...
Yeah, it's dreadful. Just absolutely dreadful. But you know what's worse than a 1 out of 10 movie?
Ooh.
A 0.5 out of 10 movie. This has been part 1 of a 2-part episode of Live Action Remorse. Stay tuned for part 2.